tried to explain the issues at stake, which we all know. There are things that we all know, especially when you opt out of this exchange and the treatability of your bond. That is the concern of the minister, that if the pensioners do not come under and get a new one, if you are holding your old bonds and there is a need for you to sell and get some money, maybe emergency, you have difficulty getting value for that. That is the treatability, the problem of treatability. That's the meaning of that. So the minister thinks that he has that feeling for bondholders, especially the pensioners, that if you hold on to your old bonds, the treatability issue would come when you want to sell your bonds. So that is fine. The explanation is okay. But we also told him that we have explained that to our members, that if we continue to hold on to the old bonds, and as the new bonds come into the market, the old bonds, the treatability will be a problem because of the tag that is associated with it, that government may be unable to honor its obligation and that kind of thing. So treatability will be there, problem of treatability. But our members are saying that they don't have a problem if they cannot trade their bonds. And they didn't buy the bonds to trade. They bought these bonds to hold on to maturity. What they are interested in is the coupons that they will be receiving. And in fact, some of them has already indicated that if he took even 15 years, he is not going to ask for that 15 years money to do anything. Many people might have bequeathed it to their children in their wills, that look, if I'm not there, I have a bond. Go and take the proceeds of the bonds. So while they are alive now, what they are thinking about is the for them to buy, especially their medication. And if his coupon, he was already having, let's say, 25, 26, 28, 20, and now you are bringing it to 15, that is where the challenge is. So they don't care. And we told the minister, our members have even asked us to tell you that don't worry about the treatability. Don't worry about them, that they might not be able to trade their bonds if they want to trade it. They say that one, leave it to them. They don't want you to take that on as your part of your problem. Leave it with them, let them be there and service their coupons. He also maintained that, well, it is voluntary, so you may opt out if you don't want. And I have to also argue that there's a difference between government exempting you or the issuer exempting you from this restructuring and you yourself opting out. I have worked in the market. The minister has also worked in the market. So I believe the two of us, we know that exemption is different from coming out of the exercising your option. And I say, if the issuer exempts you from a restructuring, the issuer is telling you that for these debts, I don't have a challenge. I can handle whatever there is that I have to handle. That is why I am not restructuring it. That is what exemption means. These ones I can handle. I owe 2 million. I can handle 500,000. So for this 500,000, I won't restructure. The ones I cannot handle is what I'm restructuring. So that is exemption. But when the ones that I'm going to restructure, you decide not to come under it, you yourself decide that you want to opt out of that, that has not been exempted. That is one or two of holders. You are one of two holders or one of the holders of those bonds that I have said I may have some challenges handling the coupon and the principal payment. That is why I am restructuring. So if you don't come under that and there is a problem, then you ought to have known already that yes, the issuer said he may have challenges. That is why he was restructuring. And so if I didn't go under it, then I stand a risk if it ever comes that the issuer might not be able to pay. But if you have exempted me, then the issuer has given the assurance that for these bonds, for these days, I don't have a problem handling them, so I don't want to restructure. The minister thinks that, well, it will come to a time that by, preference, you may have preference for something, or some people will have to be treated priority. If you owe people and you are paying, your money can't cover all, you go by priority. What do I do first? What do I do first? I say, well, that is fine. But if you have exempted me, at least I know I have a priority over the person who you didn't exempt, but he kept on holding it. So please exempt us so that we know we are in that category of exempted bonds, but not in the category of we opting out of the bonds. So please do the exemption for us. So we have said all this thing to the minister, that what we want is the exemption. There can be risks why you have exempted us, but I said the risk that will be associated with the exempted bonds is much, much lower than the risk associated with those that were not exempted, but you decided to keep out of the exchange. So that is what we have discussed, and we have said we want the exemption. So you should look at his figures and look at that and come and tell us. Otherwise, you keep on exercising our rights to be picketing here.
What was his final decision?
Well, he hasn't gotten any other response to show that he thinks that we should take, we say, well, our members have looked at all. Your main concern of tradability, they say don't worry about tradability. They are not interested in that. They want to keep their coupons, their bonds, and get their coupons as they are getting. But if you exempt us, we are more assured than if we decide to opt out.